Dear Father, can you hear me? I'm all alone and I'm feeling empty. I'm paranoid, so I keep the blicky. Had to leave you in the past, cause you won't rhyme with me. Dear Father, can you hear me? I'm all alone and I'm feeling empty. I'm paranoid, so I keep the blicky. Had to leave you in the past, cause you won't rhyme with me.
Dreaming, but I'm still woke. Praying, but I'm losing hope. Standing, but I'm falling slow. I'm all alone, you wouldn't know. Picture me rolling, got them bands on me. Like Cuban.
Shout out to dads everywhere. I'm James.
I'm John.
And this is Present Pillars. We started this movement to highlight all aspects of fatherhood, the good, bad, and the ugly. If you don't take anything from this show, just remember, a good dad is always a present dad. Today we have Quincy Sulton, 2018 State Youth of the Year, mentor, Boys and Girls Club employee, college student, and most of all, father.
Sir, appreciate y'all having me, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, and we're glad that you're here, Quincy. So we're going to get right into it, man. Just tell us a little about yourself.
So I'm a current student at LMC. I work at the Boys and Girls Club, like you said. Well, being at LMC, I'm trying to play basketball this year, so that's a new thing for me, getting back into basketball. I have my own clothing brand. Shout out to Malik Jackson. That's
Shout out, Neff.
CEO, you know what I'm saying? Partner in crime. We got Bel Air Boys, that's the name of the brand. So get at me, hit me up on my socials, Quincy Sulton, or hit up Malik Jackson on the socials, Facebook, Instagram, we there. Some other stuff. I'm a dad. So I'm a dad. I got a little boy, baby Quincy. He's 1 year old. So that's always good. Yeah, just going through motions.
All right, I love it. I love it. So, like I said, the reason you're here is because you're a father, a black father, a great father. So let's. How old were you when you had your baby boy?
I was 19.
Ooh, young dad.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
Yeah, fresh out of high school, man. So we didn't know, but we had prom in May, and she got pregnant in May, man. We didn't even know until like after we graduated in June. So about July-ish, I was in Cuba when I found out that she was pregnant.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that was an interesting phone call.
What was your thoughts, man? Like getting the news that you're gonna be a dad?
I was scared, bro. I was really, really scared, man. I cried like real tears a couple times, bro. A couple times she got mad at me like, "What you crying for?" I'm like, "Shit." Like, what you not crying for? You know what I mean? Like, I was nervous, man. For real.
No, that makes sense because life changes, right? So you went from thinking that you're gonna go to Oakland University in Detroit, and you had to make some changes. That's what a real man is. So when you knew that you were having a baby, what was your thoughts like? Like how did you internalize it and think about like what's next?
So my feelings around having a kid was half and half. You know, it was like the fear aspect and being scared. Am I ready to be a dad? I don't think so. Like, God, can I get a second chance? Can we undo this? But then it was also like the reality fact. Like, I'm really big on being honest with myself. So I knew this was like a decision that I couldn't run from, or running from it wouldn't help me. And, you know, I mean, as a young kid, trying to take care of my family was always my goal. So hearing I was gonna have a little kid was like, now I got my own family, so I really gotta win. So then it was, what am I gonna do now? I gotta win now. Like, quitting was never an option. It's just like, now I gotta win for real now. Like, ain't no ifs, ands, no buts. If I gotta push somebody over to get to it, I gotta get there. I have to.
That's an amazing thought process, because either you're gonna quit and be a bum or be a blessing, right?
That's what it was.
Yeah,
like, that's what it was.
Yeah, no doubt, man. A lot of young kids, not young men, don't have that same thought process, because even as an adult myself, when I first had my kid, 25, I had JV, and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do, right? Should I jump off a bridge? You know what I'm saying? Should I, I don't know. And you don't have your plans because life changes instantly. You go from, I want to be this corporate person sitting in boardrooms with suits on, to say, I got to stop all of that. I got to make sure I take care of home first. Yeah. And as a 19-year-old, I can only imagine some of the stress and trauma that you was going through, thinking about, like, just, you was still in fucking high school, right? Just really think about that, you know? So, tell us about your upbringing a little bit.
My upbringing?
Yeah.
So I come from a background of co-parenting, right? So I think my parents were together when I was like little baby, so probably 1 or 2. But like soon after that, they had split. But I still had like a really present dad, and I still had a really present mom. And then I was the baby brother, so I had older brothers. It was a 4, so I was the 4th one, last one. So yeah, I was just riding that last little brink. So going back and forth between mom and dad was I wouldn't say it was too rough, but it definitely was different. Like I feel like I grew up in 2 different worlds, where like I grew up with mom and all brothers in the house, and like it was how can I say this? It was like mom was like the poverty side. You know what I'm saying? Like dad was poverty too. He wasn't rich or nothing, but it was just like seeing mom, single mom, 4 boys, I got to witness that. And then on the flip side of my dad, it was me and my other brother Kenny, so it was only 2 of us. But you know, dad had a 2-year degree, dad had a really nice job and stuff, so it literally looked like 2 different worlds.
But I can see that in you, right? I can see that your drive. You know, like I said, first off, I know your parents are extremely proud of you, right? Yeah. But when I see that your work ethic and your drive, I can see that they instilled upon you that hard work and mentality, and that's how you're going to parent. That's how you parent now. So it all comes to fruition, and you never know it, right? We our kids leading examples. What they see is what we do, and trust me, little baby Q, he see you grinding and see you being public speaking, he gonna look up and he might be president. You know what I mean? That's how it works. You know what I'm saying? So
I was gonna say, even from my conversations with you since I met you, I always found that like you were one of the kids that had a lot of empathy, and now I could probably see why you grew up in 2 different worlds. Like, and like you said, your dad had, I ain't gonna say less responsibility, but you know, he had fewer kids, and your mom like still held it down, right? Yeah. But she did what she could with what she had. Yeah. So you get an empathy for both sides, and that makes you like kind of someone that can pull from anywhere. So.
Shout out mom and dad.
Shout out the fam, man.
I love y'all.
I definitely get it now.
Shout out the fam. Yeah, I mean you're whole, right? And as men, we want to become whole, right? You get you're okay with crying. You're okay with saying you're unhappy. You're okay with saying that. And you'd be surprised when it comes to men how they drown out these things and they think it's not cool, and then they explode, they erupt. And this is why we're here today, is that some of these fatherhood issues are normal. Like James said, we're trying to normalize these things. Yeah. It's okay to say I miss my kids. Yeah. It's okay to say I'm fucking sad, right? It's okay to say I don't feel good. Fuck you, right? I mean, don't say fuck you, get fired. But it's okay for those type of things, right? Yeah. So,
and it's crazy too, because in most cases we only get to have three emotions: happy, sad, mad. Yeah. Everything else out the window.
You know, I'm glad you said that. Like, we try to become whole, because like being a man, I understand what it's like. Well, we all understand what it's like to grow up in a world where we're not allowed to feel these things or say these things. But then again, having those examples, I see what I also don't want to become too. You know what I mean? So it's, do I be like the world and still become what I don't want to become? Or do I have to be that person who's staying to the side, and I might get pointed at a little bit, laughed at a little bit, but I'm what they want to be. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. You stand out. You're a leader. And that's what leaders do. We don't follow, we lead. And even when we do follow, we lead from behind. Yeah. You know, I call it managing up, right? So it's important to understand that, because you know who you are. So nobody can't just tell you anything. Like my boy Bruce say, you're not gonna be tricked out your position, right? You know who you are and what you stand for. That means everything as a man, because if not, society and people will lead you astray. That's why you got to keep the kids on the forefront of your decision. And that's why I was so impacted. We got to get Quincy on the show, because he like, hey, I'm going to stop what I'm doing now, and I'm going to take care of my baby now. And that's admirable, because people don't do that. You know what I mean? So tell us about one of your greatest moments as a father, man.
One of my greatest moments as a father. So when I was thinking about that, man, the one thing that hit me, and it's like I talk about it on the daily when I talk about my son, is that moment when I realized like my son was a daddy's boy. Like that was really, really, really huge for me, because like when I really came to terms with like, okay, I'm finna become a dad. I'm not a father, I'm a dad. It's a difference. I'm active, I'm there. I was at every doctor's appointment before he was born, after he was born. Mama called me, taking him to shots, everything. She know like I like being there, like I'm there. So when that moment where he said dad instead of mama for first words. And then when he see me, he leaves mama, he run to daddy. He like, nah, mama, daddy here. You know, she calls me every day on the daily now. Your son just keeps saying dad, so I thought I'd let him call you, and he'd be all excited, dad. And I'm just like, you know you belong to me, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you mine.
Like
That's
you
my,
had him, huh?
yeah, like
That's what's up, man.
that's my guy, man. And he got my name and stuff, so that's my dog. That's my happiest thing as a dad, is to understand that my son, like, he already got a great take on that, you know. So I already got to be more for him. He already there.
You're a present pillar. You wasn't just giving presents. You were present, and that's why your son knows you as daddy and knows your face, and you just not Instagram, Facebook daddy, because we got those too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real.
So you said, talking about the mom, are you guys together or separated or?
So me and mom isn't together, but we do have a great relationship when it comes to baby Quincy, right?
Okay.
So growing up, like, coming from co-parenting, I never wanted that, like, for my kids, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to break the cycle, first generation for everything if I can, you know. But, you know, some things just happened between me and mom. It wasn't no hard falling out or anything like that, but just some things didn't work out, but we still knew that we had to stay okay for him, you know. So arguing with mom is like a real non-negotiable for me, you know what I'm saying? Anything that would ruin anything on his behalf, I'm not for. Everything has to be right for him. You know, I always try to tell her, like, we're not enemies. I don't care where we clash at, we're not enemies. You love him, I love him, we always on the same team. Always. I don't care if you in France and I'm in Antarctica, we on the same team because we both riding for baby Quincy. So we're not enemies ever. Gotta be right for him.
Man, that's dope. So at what point did y'all realize that y'all were going to go y'all separate ways? Or how old was baby Quincy?
Baby Quincy was he was here for a little minute. He was almost a year old, so he had to be like 10 months when me and mom finally was like, okay, part ways a little bit. And it was, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to make it sound unrealistic. It was rough in the times, but even in those times, I was just always trying to reassure her that, like, we're going to be fine, because she came from co-parenting, she didn't want that for him either. And it was like, neither one of us wanted it. But,
Yeah, the goddamn bug.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what that was. But yeah, neither one of us wanted it, but we were still trying to keep everything okay on behalf of him, because that's all that matters at the end of the day.
That's a fact. You actually said something earlier in the car. That's when I first said, man, you like real empathetic guy. But we were talking about like how girls and women go through postpartum and everything, and how you explained your thought process on it was really cool. I don't know if you can remember.
Yeah, I can remember that. So John, fill you in. So me and James was talking about actually the conversation we had at the teen center. About how moms don't like about how moms don't like really understand the roles of dad.
Okay.
And I was telling James, like, you know, having those conversations with mom, I can never get mad at her when she has mixed emotions about things towards me. And it's like, do I like the things she says? No. Do I might like about how she go about stuff? No. But I can never get mad at her because I understand that she does not understand, right? So I remember me and her talked about it actually a few days ago. So y'all lucky, it's fresh. So I was letting her know, it's a reason that you're mom and I'm dad. Are our roles very similar? Yes, because we're parents. But your parent role is called mom, mine is called dad. They're significant. They're similar, but they're significantly different. If I was put in mom's position as dad, I would either do a terrible job or I would do an average job. And if I did a good job, it still wouldn't be as good as mom because she's mom. And vice versa. If she did dad's job, she would do a terrible job. She would do an average job, or she would do a good job, but she wouldn't do as great as me because I'm dad. You get what I mean?
I'm listening. I got a rebuttal. Go ahead.
What I'm trying to say is, I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to say moms can't raise sons or dads can't raise daughters. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is there are things that mom does because she's mom, and there's things that dad does because he's
He saw you
dad.
coming. Chest move.
And it's like I can't get mad at mom when she sees things her way because she sees them from a mother's perspective, and I will never get mad at her for it because I understand.
That's great. How are you this mature at 21 now?
20.
20.
Turning 21 in December.
Sorry, my bad. Oh, you are a young buck. My bad.
But that's a great question. A lot of these things I really just put thought to from personal experience. Music, TV shows, we always get shown things in media, what it could be like. That's why I like to think about movies and TV shows as this is what it could be like. You know, just glimpses of what could happen. And just mentors, you know, things I actually get to see firsthand, people get to talk to me about, and I just take it all and I just try to get my own understanding from it all. But a lot of these conversations I had with mom before baby Quincy was here. And I would tell her all the time, I'm not wishing bad on us, but if these times are to come, we need to handle it this way for him. Because he's all that matters at the end of the day. Not to say that I don't have an identity and neither does she, because we have to take care of ourselves too to be able to take care of him.
Right.
But if we want a successful life for him, these are things that we're gonna have to understand, things we're gonna have to come to terms with, talk out, find our own agreements with to make it work for him.
Do you ever think that if you guys were together, when you at this point when you're both mature, would it be better or easier for you?
Yeah, I mean, I always, like I said, I didn't want co-parenting. So the idea of family always in my head. I always think about like, what if it was me and her can work it out and get back together and give baby Quincy the family I always wanted him to have and things like that. And it's like possibility.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, family first.
Family, yeah. You know, so it's always, everything is just possibility. Everything is like,
I mean, we all want the white picket fence and the ugly dog, right? Running around chirping with Thanksgiving dinner and shit, but that's not all our reality, right? So we have to, you know what I'm saying? Bake apple pies, right? But we have to do what's best for us in that situation, and that sounds exactly what you did and a lot of other young dads have done. Like they made the best of the situation. They didn't run away from these obstacles, they ran to it. So we talked about, you know, your greatest moment, right? Well, tell us about a moment that you wish you could do over, a moment that you're not proud of as a father.
Yeah. So this would probably be about the same time that me and mom actually broke up. During that time, like I kind of got down on life, not because of the breakup, but just the experiences I was having during that time. Like it wasn't like a specific thing that I did that I felt like was wrong as a dad. I just felt like that whole time in of life, I felt like I was failing my son. So starting with me and mom not working out, I was like, wow, you know, I felt like I was like, all right, that's just one thing. We can get over that. And then later on, I flunked out of school. And I'm like, dang. And it felt like at the moment, I would probably never get back in school and stuff. So I'm like, dang, what am I showing my son? Then I started bouncing around job from job. So it's hard to keep a job. And that was before COVID happened. Then COVID happened and I didn't get unemployment. So then I was like unemployed. So I'm unemployed, out of school, not with his mom anymore. And it was like, I really felt like I was failing as a man. And if I felt like I was failing as a man, I'm failing my son. That always been one of my worst fears, was to fail as a man. Because then I knew I would be letting not just myself down, but everybody that counted on me down.
And that's a lot of stress, right? Remember, you're 19 years old, feeling like that. And so what do you think the stress come from? It's as a man, first and foremost, it's really tough. Society will tell you that you should be here at this age. You should have this amount of money. And as a dad, your kids needs to be in the best car seats and just done, right? Yeah. That's unrealistic. Yeah. And you know, we're here today to tell you these are normal feelings, right? So yes, you feel down, but you have to use that you catapult that into greater. Like greater is later. It don't come overnight. And that's something that me and James talk about all the time, because it's really tough for us. We don't get the resources. We don't get the support. They treat us like King James, you got to win now, right? And that's not true. We should have time to gradually to turn into the man that we want to be and the father that we believe we are. So,
and if there's going to be pressure, at least give time to be human too, right? Like, so I can't feel anything. We literally get attacked for feeling stuff sometimes.
We do. That's very true.
like you just said earlier, your son's mom was saying that, why are you crying?
Yeah.
Right? That's a normal trait. Like, what do you mean why I'm crying? I'm not a robot. I got teared up. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Nah, man, it happened for real, man. It happened. It happened. And I really just felt like I was letting you down. But like you said, giving up was never an option. Even in that lowest point of my life, I was still like, I'm gonna figure this out. I have to. There's no way. This can't be the end. It looked so impossible to me, man. I promise you, I was on the phone with my friends every day. Like, y'all, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know, but I'm gonna do something. Right. Like, I gotta do something. Positive, legal. I wasn't gonna do nothing illegal.
You wasn't gonna. All right, take that out. Cut.
I wasn't gonna do nothing illegal, but I knew I had to do something. Right. Cause I had to get back up on at the end of the day, I always just play a lot of sayings and quotes, music, TV, whatever, mentor quotes. A lot of stuff keeps me grounded, humble, and on track. But it was like, one of the things I'm really big on is, what am I showing my son? Right. If I stop here, how can I tell him when he grow up and play sports or just need some kind of life advice? How am I gonna be the one to tell him to do something I gave up on life? Who am I? Who the f am I?
Right.
Who am I?
Right. Yeah. No,
I gotta win. Yeah. So I can be in a place to tell him, get up, man. Get up. He don't have to go out searching for it. He ain't gotta get on YouTube, look for the motivational speaker. It's right in the house. Get up. I did it. Get up. You can do it. It's okay. I gotta be there for him.
You know, it's funny too. I feel like there are a lot of dads out there that feel that way that don't know how to say that. I think my dad was one of them. Like, hearing you say that, I think that's what his actions were saying, but his words were nothing like that. Like, that's cool. That's a cool way to look at it.
Normalizing these things. It's okay to feel that you're not where you need to be. It's okay to say that I got to get out of this hole. My son needs me. Right? That and the reason why, you Quincy, right? So in the city of Ben Harbor, Michigan, right? And I've been with you when we travel the world at this point. Every room that Quincy gets into, he's a bright shining star. I mean, you ought to see the people react to Quincy like he's the president. And that's a lot of pressure for, once again, he's only 19. He's been doing it. He's been a Youth of the Year, which is the highest honor you can have at the program, the Boys and Girls Club. He was a state Youth of the Year. So he's been in these situations where they're looking at him like a rock star. And just like when they put you on that pedestal, they're okay with knocking your ass out, but they don't support you when you do fall. That's why we have this platform now to let you know that it's okay. Take your time to dig yourself out. And the only person that you have to be accountable for is you, because you're the reason that your son is going to be successful, right? It's you. And you already got the drive and you already got the passion, but you got to understand that, those stresses and the trauma that you feel, it's internal. Don't let the outside tell you some shit because, Instagram, they only posting the highlights. Right. They ain't posting when they fucked up. They sure ain't. You know what I mean? And that's how the world is. Like, social media is who people want to be, not who they are. You know what I mean?
That's a great point.
It's the truth.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was on the internet with suits on, sleeping on a mattress, right? So that's real. Like, it took a while to be to the point where I want to be, right? And understand that now my family have always looked up to me, so I had to go and get it. So when you were saying that I will not stop, that rang here, because I don't play about like my growth and my development, my family, right?
Yeah.
I keep them right here on all my decisions. So that's why I don't do dumb shit
anymore.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I understand that completely, man.
That's big stuff, man. That's good stuff.
Yeah. So what's next, man? What's next for you, dog?
Like I said, I'm now getting back on track. Yeah. So I'm back in school. So finishing school, I should be graduating LMC like next summer or at latest next December. So that's big for me. I really can't wait for that. Appreciate it. Psychology. Yep. So I'm have like some kind of arts.
Yeah.
Just,
I don't know what
it's called.
Yeah,
I don't know how to decipher that, but some kind of degree in
school was my best subject, right? Yeah. I was skipping the lunchroom. That was where I was at. You know
I'm gonna have some kind of like 2-year degree in that. I forgot how they word it. It's a weird way they word it. And then 4-year after that though, for sure. I'm definitely gonna do a 4-year. Like I said, I don't know yet. I feel like I'm graduating high school again, and I just want to redo the process. I didn't put no HBCUs on my thing coming out of high school. I didn't really look far coming out of high school, but this time I'm trying to present my best self. So I'm putting myself out there. You know what I mean? Add some HBCUs on there, some more schools around the area and farther away.
It's crazy to me because you've always been this youth-driven individual, right? And when I see Quincy, like I always imagine how you walk in the gym and everybody screaming your damn name, right? Or when you dancing at Youth of the Years and the whole, or we was at State and you said your speech and everybody started crying. I'm like, this just got it, right? So how was your parenting style? Like, how do you dad? I know you're your baby young, but like, what kind of dad are you? Are you that same passionate Quincy? Are you all over the place? Like, tell me about that.
I think all over the place is how I would describe my dad, for real. Well, me being as a dad. So like, I talk to my son in regular sentences, right? I never was like, I'd be like, what's up, bro? Yeah. I talk to him like he's 16 now. Cause I took like a child development class, and they say like the kids, the more you talk to them, the quicker they understand, and it just helps their development and things like that. So I talk to him now like he's already a teenager. So I think I'm not a scientist, but I think it's helping his development and things, But I think it really is, because like at 8 months, he will understand what I say to him. My mom and them did not believe me. He don't know you calling him by his name. When I call him, he looks at me. He know I'm calling him. Like he couldn't speak back to me, but he responded to what I said to him really well. Kids, I didn't realize how smart kids was until I had one. And I was like, ooh, it was scary. Like, okay, I gotta watch what I watch around him and everything. Like, he gonna pick that up.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like straightforward, but I also like try to show him my creative side. So I play music around him a lot. I be dancing, so he dances and stuff. He watches me close. I kind of want to start taking him to the basketball court, because he run around the house with my basketball and stuff. So I'm like, okay, he needs to see daddy hoop so he can figure out what he wants to do and stuff. Even though he only won, but I'm thinking, even when he was a newborn, I used to always tell his mom, I'm not going to miss these days. And she'd be looking at me crazy, like, what you mean? I said, I'm not going to miss these newborn days. Like, he's one out of the toddler stage yet now. I said, these are the days that I'm going to miss. So when he was a newborn, I was already talking about the days of now. I was like, I'm waiting for the days of him walking around, grabbing my pants leg, dad. I said, I can't wait for that. I'm going to miss those days when he grow out of that. I'm not going to holding this box. I'm not going to miss that.
Embrace it.
I'm not going to miss that.
Embrace it.
But it is good times, though. It's great times, watching them get to grow up and things like that.
And I want, like I said, I want you to stay in the moment, because trust me, your kids get old quick. My son he's 11, right? And I still remember him being born, loudest baby in the place, right? I was like, hey, what the f- wrong with this, right? Why is he screaming so high? Like, but I look at it like, man, he's 5'1", 5'2", at 11 years old, and he'll be driving in a few years. And you make sure that you embrace it and take it for what it is. Don't speed it up, don't rush it, because I look back like, damn, my son was so damn cute, and now he's an asshole, right? Yes, so my kids.
He's you.
He is, man.
He is. It's so funny. I'm like,
you.
dude, you're your dad. Yeah. And it's so funny to me.
He's a big ass asshole. You know what I'm saying?
Just like you.
I'm not an asshole.
It's you, like literally you. It's so funny, man.
Yeah, but I just want you to. I mean, so I'm some advice to you, like, embrace these times, right? So, I'm giving you advice, and you're a young dad. I was never a young dad when it came to age. What advice would you give young dads?
To like just stay focused. It's scary, and it's a big pill to take in when you're looking at the entire thing at one time. It can become overwhelming. But I promise, just take it one day at a time. The parent in you won't allow you to get behind on your child. You're going to figure it out. And when I say figure it out, I don't mean you will be alone. You're going to have support. And if you don't have support, seek support. Support is there. You know, even as a dad, I didn't know about my app. It's right here in Benton Harbor. I've been to Benton Harbor my entire life. Never heard of my app a day in my life. It came right to me as soon as I had a kid, you know? So like, just go seek help, you know what I'm saying? Rely on your good friends, your good family, you know, people that's there for you, your mentors. These guys been there for me since day one, you know? I didn't know these people was gonna be here for me. I wasn't looking for John when I found out I was gonna have a kid, but when John found out, he stepped in right there, but he's always been there from day one too, you know? So just take it one day at a time. It's not impossible. You know, it's this myth. I want to say this too, as advice for young parents. It's this myth that when you have kids, your life is not yours anymore. Like, it disappears. It just, your kid, it's all devoted to the little one. That's not true. Don't lose your identity. You're still a person. You still have goals. You still have dreams. Like I said, I still got to achieve what I need to show my son that nothing is impossible. That's really big to me. I have to go get what I wanted to show him that whatever it is that he wants, just in case, I mean, I don't wish that he have kids young, but if he does, I need to show him that it's not impossible. You can still do whatever it is that you wanted to do while being a great parent. So.
Earlier you said, and I just wanted to tell you this, earlier you were talking about what I described to you as the burden of leadership, right? Meaning that you get flack when other people don't, right? You can't do what everybody else can do, right? You have harsher consequences and everything, right? Earlier this month or last month, my boss said, when you do a program, I don't want a whole bunch of Quincy's, right? And I took it as like, what does that mean, right? But now I get it. In a program with a whole bunch of Quincy's, you're not really doing a lot of work. You've been doing what I've been doing this whole episode, which is listening. Just listening, just taking it in. Because it ain't every day you get to meet a Quincy.
Flowers, my boy. You're dope.
Appreciate
no,
that,
for
man.
real.
Appreciate
for
y'all.
real, man. James, you don't make me cry with that shit, man.
Man, I ain't gonna
Don't
lie,
do
that
that.
did just hit me,
Don't
bro.
do that
Just
no more.
hit me, man.
Don't.
I'm trying to keep it together right here.
Find a way to explain
That just
why I
hit
wasn't
me,
talking.
man.
Sit your down.
Nah, that was real though. That was real.
No, that was good.
That hit me, dog.
It ain't every day though, for real.
No.
How many? We do not get a lot of Quincy.
No, we don't.
Man, I'll
We
stop
don't.
talking, bro, for real.
Yeah, no,
Golly.
I want you to soak that shit up because we have been in amazement. I don't know if that's the right word, but we have been in your corner from the time that I met you. The time that I heard you was playing basketball, doing some dumb shit. You wasn't that good at the time, but I was like,
I'm a bucket.
I heard you was talking to some kids. I was like, this got it, right? And everybody doesn't have that it factor, but it's okay to cry. It really is, because that's human emotion. And trust me, you a whole person. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna cry with you on camera because I'm so fine right now. I took time to prep. You know what I'm saying? But I've always been in your corner, and I've always been in your corner. You're a dope individual. You're an even better father, right? And that's why we do this. Okay, and just know that we always gonna be there. And if it's not us physically, our connections have grown to the point where we're gonna take care of our business. But your goal for me is to reach back and pull somebody else up.
Yeah.
And that's why you're here today, because you're gonna empower and inspire the next generation of young fathers.
Shining that light.
No doubt, right? We ain't no crabs in the bucket our way, right?
No, sir.
If you ever heard that saying about you lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink? Anybody around me, I'm dunking your head in the water, and you're gonna drink that. Okay, that's how we operate. Okay, so but before we leave today, man, you talk about the highs, you talk about some of the lows. What's some advice that you would have gave yourself when you at the beginning of your fatherhood journey?
Tell me about something you would say to somebody in my head right now, a young man in my head.
Same thing, man. Just one day at a time. You know, like, it seems so impossible starting out. You know, it gets scary, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? So it's a journey. It's gonna be some good days. It's gonna be some days where it's like, why me? But it's gonna be all worth it in the end. Put your best foot forward. You gotta trust the process.
Trust the process. I love it, man. Is there anything else, man? Because that, like I said, this was dope, man, Quincy. I've been always been, yeah. For real, fam. Like this is a celebration, right? You have been went above and beyond what any of my expectations has been a young man and as a father. You're beyond dope. You're beyond blessed, and I can't wait to see your kid be better than you at basketball. I can't wait.
Me too.
You know what I
Definitely
mean?
gonna get dunked.
Yeah, he gonna slam on you. Okay. So
we'll wait to see.
all right, but is there anything you want to say before we wrap the show up, man?
Again, shout out Bel Air boys. Shout out Malik. You know what I'm saying? Get at us for that merch. Shout out my app, Big James. He in the building. He work with my app, man. They good program for young parents. You know what I'm saying, in the Berrien County area. You know what I'm saying. They right at the Berrien County Health Department. If you got any youth, bring them out to the Boys and Girls Club. We got youth campus. We got teen center, and we also just opened up in St. Joe in Ben Heights. So we outside. We here to help y'all. It's all resources around for all types of people, all walks of life. So come check us out.
Yes, sir.
Present Pillars, and that's it. It's a wrap.
Peace.
What's up, Pops? Fatherhood doesn't have an age requirement, but it does take a certain level of maturity. Trials and tribulation are part of the fatherhood process. You can either be a bum or a blessing. And in Quincy's case, small boys do turn into big men. As fathers, we should know that our children are going to follow our examples more than they're going to listen to our advice. All love, family.
Hey guys, remember to like,
Subscribe,
and ring that bell.
for notifications on our next episode.
Dear Father, can you hear me? I'm all alone and I'm feeling empty. I'm paranoid, so I keep the blicky. Had to leave you in the past 'cause you